But yeah, I
Yep.
am so excited. So,
Yes.
you know, uh, okay, so you've heard the makings of you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, I adjust the questions from here and there, now and there. I'm excited for this one because I'm gonna get to one question, and I think I know what we're gonna get into. But same open-ended questions. But I'm gonna get into that. So I'm gonna do my quick. Let me see if we should be recording over here. Hopefully everything worked out okay. I don't know if I need to record here on my roadcaster, but I'm gonna hit it anyway. Let's see what happens. And
the joy of children laughing around you. These are the makings of you. It is true, the makings of you.
yeah, so what's up, good people? It's your host, Mr. D713 with Everything Culture, back with y'all with another Makings of You. And tonight we have a special one. We have Celeste from the Tabooze Podcast. If y'all haven't heard of Tabooze, y'all about to hear about it right now. This is one podcast that I'm truly a fan of. I would say, I would put it out there. I think they're the podcast that would get closer to me and my content and what we represent with Everything Culture. They, they really speak about, cultures, backgrounds. They speak about things that what are obviously taboo, where people are scared to speak about. And I think it's necessary to have these conversations. You know how I stand on that, y'all. But Celeste, and what's your partner's name?
Her name's Allie.
And Allie, so I know that guy. Celeste and Allie, I mean, they have such a delightful personality, uplifting. They not only uplifting, they're down to earth as well. They ain't gonna bullshit you. So, but they're gonna speak from their perspective as well and speaking their truth. And I think that's necessary for us to have. And they're open for us, for people to have disagreements with them as well. And they do their research. I love that. Y'all know how I feel about that when I'm doing this work. This is the Making Celeste. I'm just talking and talking. But Celeste, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm so well. And honestly, oh my God, I'm so humbled and flattered by that intro. I'm just over here blushing. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
But
Thank you for that feedback.
I love the show. When I say I say what I mean, I just ain't here to blow smoke up yet. But
yeah,
I love the skeleton as well as, and y'all have the definition of everything.
Yep.
So you use the definition, then you lead on from there. But once again, I want to say I could talk about y'all quite a bit, but man, I'm looking forward to getting into this episode right here of the Makings of Celeste.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I am so absolutely honored. I am also a huge fan of your show. I think what you're doing is incredible. Yes, you. Yes. I think what you do is amazing. I really appreciate the space that you create, the cultural environment, the diversity and inclusion of just everybody. I think that that's so beautiful, and that's what we need more of in this world. We really do, because nothing good comes from undiverse thoughts. Like, I mean, seriously, it's just then a repetitive fucking cycle. And excuse my language, our show is foul mouths and drinks in hand. So I'm going to do my best to not have a potty mouth today, but I kind of inherently have one.
This is the Makings of You. This is your episode.
Real. Oh, okay.
Nobody can
I know.
take it from you. Hold on, let me see if something works.
I love that. We don't have a soundboard, so I make my own sounds.
Hey, I do all this. I've been making my sounds and stuff through iMovie, and it's been work. Okay, and shout out to the wife. Shout out to Mrs. D713. But this is the first episode that we're using the Rodecaster Pro.
Hey,
now Rodecaster, you're not paying us, so that's the only shout out you're gonna get right there for that. So, but we can.
You hit us up though, and we'll talk about it.
Feel me? We're gonna make some changes. So I'm gonna be playing around with it, not too much, but I'm excited. So, Celeste.
Yes, sir.
Question. What do you identify as?
I am a cis white female. I am bisexual. I am sort of flirting with the idea of pansexual, working towards that. That's really my comfort zone, but I haven't had the full opportunity to explore that. Human. I'm a cosmic witch. I'm an empath. I'm a starseed. I'm a whole bucket of weird.
All right.
That's what I identify as.
I'm going to hit this one more time.
Hey!
Because when we were talking earlier, like I was legit, like while I was cooking up a little steak in the kitchen, you know, and I was like, I think you're the first white woman I've had on the show. So
what?
I know, right? It's like,
oh my God, I'm flattered and honored and humbled. Oh my God.
And, you know, we try to have some step down, but that's why I had, what did you identify as? And hey, first one. So
yeah,
shout out to, once again, Everything Culture. So this is a first. This is exciting, and not the last, but the first. So thank you so much for coming on.
You're so welcome.
All right, okay. So how do you describe yourself?
Other than all the words that I just used, which I really do use to describe myself, I would describe myself as extroverted. No, ambiverted. I am obnoxiously stubborn. I am a perfectionist. I am so incredibly easily excitable. I'm neurotypical. Excuse me. Oh my God, I'm not neurotypical at all. That felt terrible saying that. No, I didn't mean it. I'm neurodivergent. Oh, that's better. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe myself. That's what I've got. I don't practice that, Drake. People don't ask me that very often.
I can't tell you how often I hear that response, but
I love that.
I'm gonna ask you some more questions throughout here. So
I'm ready.
That's number two. Okay, get into it. So, how would you describe your culture?
Midwest nice. Yes, that's how I would describe my culture. I grew up so sheltered and so helpless. Actually, shout out to our episode last week called Love Drug Dealer. I talk about the concept of love. That is the taboo topic for last week. But the premise of the taboo being specifically around spirituality and twin flames and soulmates. But also I really recognize, like, we don't talk about love the way that love really happens, right? Like, the true, genuine experience of loving someone isn't something that people talk about. We talk about relationships and healthy relationships, but what does love look like? How do we talk about that? So that whole episode is truly the culture that I grew up in Midwest nice, religion, brainwashing. And this isn't me saying religion is all brainwashing, but I'm saying, like, I personally have grown up with a lot of brainwashing. Those two things were not synonymous. And it's a very middle school, high school mentality, no matter how old you are in this culture and community. That's very much what I'm accustomed to. You're over there smirking.
Y'all know I love this. Yeah, because it's. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that episode as well. One of my favorite songs, or if not, one of the songs that actually represent everything culture, is Stevie Wonder's "Love Is in Need of Love." I highly urge you, if you haven't listened to it, just go and listen to it. I think it'll speak to you.
Yep.
So, okay.
Amazing. We actually, in that episode, get into the Notebook. So I love that you made like an actual reference, because that is the pivot point that I use for transitioning from a tangible love story to applying the sauce and the twin flame twist and explaining it from the other side of the perspective, because I have a twin flame and that shit's rough. It's complicated. But I loved that you threw out an actual reference point. So there's mine back at you.
See, I thought I wanted back at you on 41st date. But okay. Oh, big fish. I can keep going. Oh my
I
God.
know. Let's do it.
I usually say I try to avoid the love dramas, but the ones
Yeah.
like oh my gosh, I get caught up in it. What's another one that oh my gosh, it has Halle Berry. It's not Jupiter Ascending. What's the name of the film? I went to the theater. It's long. It's like 3 hours long. Tom
Oh.
Hanks, Halle Berry. Oh my! It's gonna come to me, and I'm gonna yell it in the middle of your episode. Just letting you know that right now. So just get ready for that. Okay.
Okay. You
But-
let me know when that happens. I'm so excited for that.
Okay, I'm telling you. Okay. Okay. Your next question: what is your sign? Zodiac.
Ready? I love my chart, really seriously. I am Gemini sun, Pisces moon, Leo rising.
Interesting.
I
You're
am
all over the place.
a complicated little creature, I'm telling you.
Okay.
What are you? I need to know now.
Oh my goodness. Now I do mainly. I know I'm a Leo to lead. Okay.
Okay.
Then I know I'm an. Dang. Okay, I'm a Leo to lead. Then I think it was something with. I think I'm a Sag and there's a Moon, I believe.
Okay.
And then I backdoored. The last one was I wanted maybe a Cancer. Maybe
I get very Cancer vibes from you.
Dang, that hurt.
Yeah.
Like I'm
No.
Cancer.
My very best friend in the whole world, Allie, is a Cancer, and Cancer. I love Cancers. Cancers are my favorite.
I always give Cancers a hard time. I'll say all Cancers are Cowboy fans, and they start arguing. They don't want to finish them. But I like.
That sounds like a personal thing, maybe with Cowboy fans a little bit.
It's love. It's love. And you kind of touched on it a little bit with your description or your culture, but how would you define your childhood and your upbringing?
Really emotionally shallow. I recognize that my mother is a dry, drunk, depending on the season, which is so unbelievably common everywhere, right? Alcoholism is the number one addiction in the world, but specifically, I'm from Wisconsin, and we are the drinking capital of this country. So I really recognize that my mom's not the only mom like that, but that was my mom. My biological father is an abusive, drunk, junkie, psycho, whatever. And yet I still just fought to be the little loving, people-pleasing thing that I am. I mean, I've really toughened up a lot because life's not always great to little girls who love people-pleasing. But that really is a core fundament of who I am. Just, I love helping. I love bringing joy. I love optimism. I'm optimism prime. Like, that's literally what my daughter calls me all the time. So, I mean,
that a lot. I like that a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, I really recognize that my childhood was not easy, even though I really grew up from what everybody else thought was super fucking easy. My parents are literally a financial institution. I mean, I grew up on the silver platter, and yet I still lived a really rough life. And I don't think that that's something that people talk about enough from anybody's perspective. And that's actually something that we're going to talk about on my show at some point, because I really recognize that the difference of your rough upbringing versus my rough upbringing is not different in anything other than circumstance. Like, rough is rough is rough, but we don't talk about it that way. And I never understand why.
Welcome to Everything Culture.
Welcome to Tabooze Podcast.
These are the conversations we need to have, and this is
real.
This is why we do the Makings of You. I tell you,
it is. I love this shit.
People need to hear you. People need to listen. Okay. So you spoke You touched on it. But what were the roles of your parents in the household?
My mom is the breadwinner. My mom is 10 feet tall and she's only 5'6". My mom is fierce and bold and responsible for everybody. That's real. My stepdad is controlling and anxious and a passive aggressive little bitch. And he's 6'4" and 375, and I still would say that shit to his face.
See, let y'all know right now. Once again, I'm just not using the soundboard, but as soon as I get that Kevin Hart, damn, I'm gonna throw that right in.
I mean, I'm going to be really honest, and this might make a lot of people uncomfortable, but you guys, this is me and my show. So welcome to Tabooze Celeste, because that's real. My dad is my stepdad. When I say my biological dad, I very specifically mean that. My dad is the stereotypical white fucking asshole guy. My dad is the definition of white privilege. My dad is that guy. My dad is the guy who we all hate because he's just a pompous white ass. And he just is that way. I don't know how else to explain it. And that's not even me saying that he has any sort of bias or racial prejudice. I really don't know. I really don't fucking care. I really just recognize, though, that his entire everything, as I do this with my hand, is that guy.
For the listeners, you got to come to YouTube to see it. You'll understand.
Real? I'm an audio podcast, so I often narrate what I'm doing. But
no, I heard y'all was showing pictures and stuff, and I'm like, I can see you.
Yeah, I forget sometimes, but whatever.
It happens. You may like I may need to bring him on the show one day to get his perspective on things. You know?
Bro, do it. See what he says.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a half sister and I have a step brother, one on each side of my familial tree.
All right. Where do you fall in? Are you the oldest, youngest?
I am the oldest. Yep. My stepbrother is 7 months younger than me, and my sister is 10 years younger than me. Oh, wow. And she is also the prodigy child. I love my sister. I have no shade for my sister, but she is the prodigy child.
Got it. How do you feel about your education so far?
You know what? I actually was thinking about this today, ironically. So I feel most prepared for this question. So I'm really excited about that. I recognize that education is my favorite thing. Like between love and education, like those are my two favorite drugs. Dead serious. So I really love learning in whatever capacity that means, which is why we have so much research and numbers and statistics and whatever. And I really recognize that the path that my culture perpetuates for education is very strict. And I did not follow that path. I was a really good student in high school, but I also was a crazy party girl. I mean, I was the white girl party girl. That's real.
Hey, what?
Oh, bro. Oh yeah. Wisconsin. That's a thing.
You're also the first person from Wisconsin to be on the show, so you heavy representing. So just let you know, you put your people on the map.
Oh, good. Well, I can't wait. I'll send you some cheese curds or beer or something from here because
love it.
Epic shit. I went to college. I got into a four-year university here that my parents are on the board of and got me into, which was rubbed in my face all the time. And I got pregnant by my narcissistic abuser. And then I dropped out. And fast forward, whatever, I reattended a technical school here. I got my associates in leadership development. which I was super proud of and super excited about. It's really like, thank you. I have a 4.0. I wasn't expecting that, but yay. And I really recognized that I just was excited about, again, the opportunity to learn. And I am just a little alpha personality, natural born leader. I really like that perspective. And I know in a job space, it's very effective. And then I didn't know what to do after that. I'm going to get my bachelor's in journalism with an emphasis in pre-law. I'm going to get my law degree after, I go through another associate's program through UW-Madison, and I'm so excited. It's a marketing program for my business. I can't wait. Oh,
This is
I have
scary.
so many things. Why?
This is the makings of Celeste, y'all. I ain't gonna get into my goals and aspirations right now, but hey, I absolutely love it.
Oh, thank you. Most people are like, "What is wrong with you?"
Man, you make what you want to make out of your life.
Yeah,
That's what
I try.
And I'm not about to get distracted right now going down this whole line of goals and aspirations and what you're doing and why you're doing it. Right, but we go figure this out though.
Oh yeah.
Where do you consider home?
Ooh. I actually think home is a person or home is people. I really recognize home is a feeling, not a place for me. It's a sense of safety. It's a sense of security. It's a sense of warmth and love and just connectivity, I guess, especially because I'm a very spiritual person. I recognize that home for me is anywhere that I can be that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can just be in all planes of my existence entirely.
Yes.
And that I find with people more often than not. So that's my home.
Okay. Love it. Thank you. When you were coming up, what did you have any chores in the home? If so, what were they?
Yes. I had to clean my room. I did not have real chores. I want to be really clear about that. Okay. Like I didn't have real physical labor to do, but I did. I had like cleaning stuff, sometimes yard stuff, but otherwise not really.
Gotcha. So that kind of lead into how you disciplined growing up. If you didn't do your chores, cleaning up the room, a little bit of the yard work, what would happen?
Discipline is something that is not actually associated to chores in my life, but discipline in my family looks like grounding, taking away possessions, punishment, a lot of utilitarian, not gentle, really invalidating. There's no feelings other than happy in my house. So that's real. That's part of my optimism prime, just my internal core. And I recognize that feelings are part of discipline as how I grew up. I've always been told that I'm selfish for having feelings, and that's part of my discipline. Always has been.
Interesting. Good. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
What were and what are your beliefs?
I actually was raised, this is one of my favorite things about the way that my mom approached her parenting. My mom has always raised me to believe whatever I wanted to believe because she grew up in a very strict religious household and she did not believe in that and she never wanted that. So I really grew up with so many questions and nobody to turn to about them because we didn't believe in anything. I mean, we believed in magic and Santa and all of the sweet things that are included in a childhood, but we didn't believe in a faith, and I am such a spiritual and faith-driven person. I always have been. That was really, really hard for me. So to transition from I have never talked about anything to now I have to talk about everything on an entirely philosophical level to understand it because my spiritual side has to be there and my ADHD makes me. And that's what I am now.
Okay. Love it. Thank you. Okay. If you could recommend a book, a movie, and a television series, what would you recommend?
Great Small Things by Jodi Picoult. Movie would be series would be
Cloud Atlas. That's the name of it. Cloud Atlas.
I can't, bro. I have never been able to get past 5 minutes of that movie. My ex and I were just talking about that movie 2 days ago. I cannot believe you said that. We have never made it through more than 5 minutes of that movie.
There's nothing in that movie. I'm telling
I know.
I was in the theater crying. Like,
oh my God,
on my face, like, wow.
Stop it.
Like, I was in the back of the theater by myself, like, this is a good movie. Then everyone, when that reviews came out, they're like, what? It's such a good love movie. It's such
my God.
I love.
I have to tell you this. You'll so appreciate this. So my ex is actually my twin flame, right? Mm-hmm. And we were joking about how if we could get our shit together, we would be the twin flame perfect relationship. Whatever. And we were talking about how the journey works and whatever, because he's not spiritual. And he was like, you know what? I bet if we could make it to the end of Cloud Atlas, we would just have all the answers to the universe.
Once again, this is the Makings of Celeste, y'all. So, like, whatever I'm saying right here, y'all can bypass it. Y'all can skip like 30 seconds or a minute maybe for it. But I absolutely agree. Because if you watch Cloud Atlas, it's so many different stories about, and like you have that twin flame, that soulmate, that connection with that person, and it's a different story each lifetime. But it's always there. And it's not always ideal either. But it is there. And I would agree. And once again, I ain't getting too deep with y'all. I'm not a therapist or counselor. When I come back, when you find people that you vibe with or you have that connection to, or you know, that thing some people don't understand called love, it may not be that right time for it. But I mean, Cloud Atlas touches on that. So there's some crazy stuff in it, but I love it. But I would agree. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say your favorite series. You said
my favorite series. I actually, this conversation.
Your recommendation of a book, yes.
My recommendation and favorite, same thing for me. But I needed this conversation to recall my favorite series, which is actually Sense8. It used to be on Netflix and it no longer is, but it was the original Manifest.
It was.
It was so much better than Manifest in so many ways, in such a spiritual way. It was so much better. Manifest is great. Don't get me wrong. I love Manifest, but I really recognize that they actually take it to a much more like paranormal place than a spiritual place.
Right.
And I vibe with that for the show, but Sense8 is my favorite for that reason. And then what was the third thing?
Movie.
My favorite movie. My recommended movie. You know what? I would recommend Soul. For anybody who's never seen Soul on Disney, like, speaking of everything culture, Soul. Look at you. You're just so cute. I can't with your little cuteness.
That was a tearjerker. That was a good film. That was a really good film. How to appreciate what you have in life, take opportunities, take chances. Yeah, I would recommend that with y'all. Yeah, make sure to check out Soul. Okay. Thank you for your recommendations.
Yeah.
All right. If you can call 3 people, no matter who, 3 people, who are those 3 people? Just anyone, dead or alive, people you met before, people you've never met.
Just for the sake of calling them?
You can have just a conversation with them.
Oh, okay.
Call them to have a conversation.
I would call Allie. I would always call, is that weird that I would call the one person that I talk to every day?
Not. This is not weird. This is the Makings of Celeste.
Okay.
So it can't be
perfect.
Weird.
All right. So I would call Allie. I would absolutely call my daughter. And I would also call my girl Des. Those are the three people in my life that are those are my number one calls for sure. Like tied for first. Three-way split.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay. What has been an impactful moment in your life?
George Floyd's death, murder.
And you went into detail about that on your most recent episode.
Yes, sir.
You know, it touched on Dave Chappelle, and then you took that quick little, you swung it to the left a little bit on me, and I'm like, okay. And I was going to be a part of that episode, y'all. I'm so upset I wasn't, because it would have been a delight, because y'all know I've said it before here on Everything Culture. Once again, this is still the Makings of Celeste, but Dave Chappelle,
we can take a humble brag moment. I don't mind.
No, I'm saying Dave Chappelle is one of the people. He's one of the pushers of Everything Cultures. He's one of the idols that we look at. I don't put nobody on the pedestal. He taught me that, but the things that he said that you can listen to episodes, we'll say something, he'll say it right after, and I'll feel like I knew I wasn't crazy. He kind of gives that stamp of approval, and what we kind of represent here in Everything Culture. And to hear her experience, even talking about with George Floyd, coming from a white woman in Wisconsin, and the experience that she had, it's something y'all should look into. Y'all should listen. Shout out to Greer. Shout out to Sarah. We've had some deep conversations on here on this platform during those times, and I'm happy that you said you had. I remember you kept saying it changed your life, and I would say it's something I'm glad it opened your eyes. It's like it's something that you've seen, because I know a lot of Black people, including myself. I come from East Texas, and some of these things I'm like, how didn't you see it? And we can come off. I used to come off rough. I was like, nah. I used to use the quote from Ice Cube from Boys in the Hood all the time. Either they don't know, don't show, or they don't care. Okay. And not until I started doing this podcast, I really started to see many of them just don't know. The media, their families, their education, our education has it'll have put a perspective, or shown just a certain side of things, until a lot of people are just so ignorant to it. And so when people cry about it and yell out, it's hard for them to believe it until they actually see injustice right in their face with nothing to change. You have to look at it, and it's hard to watch. And when you're mentioning, I didn't watch the George Floyd video until the trial. So watching at that time, because I watched the Ahmaud Arbery video.
Oh my God.
That's the one that did it for me. That's the one that I was about to snap. I can't, so it's something that last year, 2020, was a big change for everyone. And for you to mention that it being an impactful moment in your life, hey, we got a lot more coming. That's what I would say. I'm very realistic. Thank you for sharing with you your experience about that. Once again, I want y'all to go listen to the Tabooze episode. And what's the name of the episode one time?
This episode is called
I could look
Racist versus Everybody Else.
Yes.
Racist v everybody else. But actually, also, specifically, I want to just really seriously applaud everything you just said, because entirely accurate. That perspective is so real. The don't know, don't show, don't care. That is 100% real in all races across the board, but specifically in white culture and white privilege and whitewashing. Our entire show is an awakening. When I say George Floyd saved my life, I really mean that sincerely, because the awakening that you're talking about, specifically from the white to Black culture perspective, that's the approach that I have taken to every topic that we talk about now. And not every topic is a heavy topic. And like we talk about tattoos, we talk about sex toys. We have an episode about erectile dysfunction. Like we really seriously bring that perspective because, bro, I live in a world where I am literally deprived of reality all the time. So I did not know what I was literally living in this racist fucking environment because how would I know? Nobody told me. Nobody said those words to me. When I said in my episode that Dave Chappelle is the first person to say the words, "I'm proud of you for protesting," I meant that.
Yeah.
No one has ever said that to me because that's here. No one is proud of me. Here, people hate me for it. Here, I am a threat for it. When Breonna Taylor's murderers were on trial, there was a cop posted up at my house because they were confident that when that trial delivery verdict went through, I was going to lose my shit. I'm the only white girl who they were like, go. All my other friends had posted, but I was the only white person who did.
It's one of these things that, once again, it's still the makings of Celeste, y'all. Thank you for sharing so much, Celeste, because I've been telling you, we've had conversations on our lives, like when we first started doing these, like about a year ago, and that when we brought up Emmett Till, and the white women in the room were like, "Who's Emmett Till?" Every black person, like, excuse me, like,
excuse the fuck out of me.
I beg your pardon, but they genuine is like, no, we had no idea. Then these same two women, once again, Greer and Sarah, I saw them become allies, and we've been friends on Facebook for years. We went to middle school together in our East Texas town, and just for her speaking up for black people, the amount of white people, her peers, her family, I saw them drag her through the mud and back again. And I talked to her one-on-one. I like, just imagine just being black then. For you to speaking up for
seriously,
black people, imagine being it. It's a whole experience. So
I can't.
No, I would say I appreciate it, and it's hard, So it's one of them things that just keep the fight alive. That's what the best thing about it. Because in the work that I've done in social work and working with children and working with families, and that's what kind of brought everything culture together, is to have these conversations, is to see why we think the way we think and we act the way we act, and do we know these things? So we just we want to live in our comfort of ignorance sometimes. So, but thank you for being a fighter. I would say that again.
Oh, it's not absolutely.
Being a protester is being a fighter. It's just how you fight. So thank you.
Actually, to like be such a little narcissist for a second, a quote that I want to offer from this episode is one of my favorites that I use all the time is, "Ignorance is actually hate's introverted little brother."
I heard you say that. Yeah.
That's so true. And I really can't, people don't understand how dangerous ignorance is because what are they? Ignorant. So you can't know what you don't know, and they associate ignorance with being stupid. It's not. You just don't know, and that's okay. But being ignorant is part of the blinding mechanism that the fucking rich white dudes are running to make the country keep running the way that it runs, to keep the founding fathers, shout out to our preamble episode, their vision of colonization alive forever, perpetually. And it's all part of the system. It is all part of the pyramid of white supremacy, which we talk about in depth in our white privilege episode, because that's how the show is operated. That's how we all function in this country. And it's disturbing. I just sort of got off on that. Sorry.
No. Thank you. Thank you. This is your episode. We rocking how you rocking.
Okay.
So rolling. And it just, and thank you. Who did that quote come from y'all? Or is it?
Yeah, that's me. No, okay, that's me. I only quote myself when it's like a really good one.
Okay, that was very nice. Very nice. And I always talk about being naive and being ignorant. And it's something that's willful ignorance. And it's like, the monkeys closing your eyes, no mouth.
Yep.
I don't rock with that too much. I try to put it in their face. Okay.
Yep. But on the flip side, the reason that we do hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil is because, full circle moment.
Yes, that's it. I'm like,
Drake, I love us. The reason that we have that, so I love your perspective, totally valid. And I've never considered that perspective of it before. But we have it because there is so much evil that we all hear and say and speak every day. And I'm fucking sick of it. Like, our show is a safe space, much like your show, to just authentically have a conversation, to experience a different perspective. And we don't hear evil, we don't speak evil, and we don't see evil. Even though we are talking about it sometimes, we're talking about it to see it for the truth, to speak about it truthfully, and to have the message be heard with the intention of curing ignorance.
Love it. Ooh. Okay. we gonna talk some more. So y'all gonna hear a lot more from Celeste in the future. We see when this is just the Makings of You. Y'all, this is you. This is a deep Makings of You, and I appreciate it. Not saying the rest of them ain't, but this one here, we getting into it. Okay. If you had a theme song, what would it be?
Ooh. I have this. Wait. Oh, of course, now I can't find it. Here we go. This Is How I Learned to Say No by Emmeline is my theme song.
Okay, I'm about to look this up.
So good.
Like this. Okay. How do you define joy?
Oh, I love joy. For me, joy is an empty beach and boundless horizon. For me, joy is my daughter's laugh, her genuine laugh, the one that like catches me off guard, that one. Kittens bring me joy. Anything small and fuzzy, actually, that's a lie. I am terrified of rabbits, so rabbits are not included in the small and fuzzy, but most other small and fuzzies.
The rabbits? I thought you were talking tarantulas, but rabbits.
No. Yeah, rabbits are real. You know what? Honestly, because I love joy so much, and because I really am the optimistic little thing that I am, I seek joy often. I actually very much so, as part of my spirituality, live intentionally to experience nothing but happiness and joy. And that doesn't mean that bad shit doesn't happen in my life. I cried all day yesterday. That's real. But I intentionally seek joy. So honestly, this blunt earlier was joy. That happens.
Hey, joy is what you make it. But
exactly.
Once again, there's no wrong answers here.
Yeah.
It's a Celeste. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. What privileges do you benefit from?
What? Can you ask me what privileges you're talking about? Like my AARP card or...
Whatever privileges you would like to include.
Oh, all my privileges. Okay. All right. So, again, shout out to my episode. I have all the privileges, you guys. I have that. That's real. So I really recognize that I have the privilege of, I've gotten out of several speeding tickets because I've cried. I was taught to cry if I got pulled over, so that like it's an inherently taught thing. I have the privilege of everybody thinking that I'm a safe person to approach. And I am, okay, but that's a privilege to be that way because not everybody is. I have the privilege of my voice standing out for no reason other than the color of my skin. I have the privilege of my education being held at a higher standard than your education, even though we might have the exact same education. I don't know why. I do know why, but that's a real thing. I have so much privilege, it actually hurts. But also, one of my favorite things about me is honestly that I know that and I use that like for good. I absolutely have no shame in throwing my privilege around in somebody's fucking face to make a scene, to make my point for good. I'll do that. I'll talk to some managers. Yes, ma'am, I will.
Thank you, Celeste. Thank you.
You're welcome.
When did you realize you were different?
I think when I came out of the left nut, probably.
That's a good time. That's a good realization. We'll say that. There's an early self-realization right there.
Yep, it was that moment. I was like, this is it.
Love it, love it, love it. Who do you respect?
You know what? Actually, I give everybody respect. It is theirs to lose. But the people who I would hold in the highest respect are people who respect me back. But if we're talking about people who would be relatable or visuals, Dave Chappelle is seriously my idol. He is my hero. He is everything that I want to be when I grow up as a fucking human being. I mean, same with my daughter. She's also my idol, but I really just Taraji P. Henson, Michelle Obama, mad respect for Miss Michelle. I really do. I respect a lot of people that I'm drawing a blank on right now because I really have so much respect for people. That's just how I operate because I know what it's like to be held with zero respect my whole life. And I just don't ever want to be the reason that anybody feels that way.
All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. What are you responsible for?
Everything.
Everything.
Literally. Everything. Yes. Everything. I am a single mom. I have no family. I have all the responsibilities. I am a student. I am an entrepreneur. I am a friend. I'm an aunt. I am all kinds of things, and I'm responsible for all of it. I have a counter parent, not a co-parent. I mean, life has not necessarily dealt me a hand that would leave me responsible-less. Exactly.
Wow. Love it. Love it.
I always joke that I'm a one-woman show, but that I have 8 shows to run. Because
You
that's
like
what
that
it feels like.
sometime, but you make it
Yeah.
happen. You making it
Yeah.
happen.
Trying.
Who were and who are your role models?
Dave Chappelle. Allie, my best friend, is my role model. We've been friends for 7 years, and she's truly the first person. She's a huge part of our soulmate twin flame episode. She's the first person who ever really made me feel like it was okay to be my weird little geek goddess self while still being the pretty popular girl, because I was always taught those things couldn't coexist.
Right.
And she really is the person who taught me how to be myself so that I could learn how to then love myself. So she will always hold that for me.
Shout out to Allie.
Allie girl, my Alejandro, my blueberry, my slappy, crazy, beautiful, wonderful, scrappy Allie. Yes.
Appreciate you being here. Okay. If you can go back and give your younger self some advice, what age would you go to and what would you give yourself?
Well, considering I've done this, shout out to spirituality and inner child healing. I would go to age 8 and I would tell her that she's going to feel unsafe for a really long time, but that when she knows safety, she will know it and she will never look back. And on that day, I will be so fucking proud of her.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you relax?
Oh, I don't know if I do. I wish I did. I spend a lot of time in nature. I meditate a lot. I really, really suck at it. Not because I'm not good at meditating. I can connect very easily, but I'm not good at sitting still. So that's a very difficult part of relaxing, right? You're supposed to like relax. I'm not very good at it. I love anything with water. Honestly, today I had a really stressful afternoon, so I just like took like a 10-minute Epsom salt bath just because I needed to just release whatever energy was on me, and that was relaxing. So that, I mean, also incense and different fire therapies are also really relaxing for me. And anytime my daughter and I do grounding together, that's always relaxing too.
All right. Okay. Okay. I love it. All right. Last 5. Coming down
Okay.
to it. Coming down to it. Okay. Do you know 3 people that trust you?
Yep.
Okay, give me those 3.
Okay. Allie, obviously. Let's see. Her husband Nick, who's also one of my best friends, and again my girl Des.
Okay. Look, see, boom, boom, boom. Put them out
Boom,
there.
boom, boom.
All right.
The privilege of a small circle.
But hey, it's all that circle means a lot, you know.
It does. It
That
sure
can be
fucking does.
that village. That's how it starts.
Exactly.
Let's see. Yeah, you mentioned quite a few already, but we're gonna come back to this one. What is a quote that you live by?
Ooh, always find the strength to fly.
You know who that comes from?
My Aunt Gina.
Oh, shout out to Aunt Gina.
Yeah.
That's
She's actually a big part of my spirituality episode also. So in the culture I grew up in, right, having a junky white trash dad and having a brilliant single mom with fucking shock and awe asshole. Okay, I'm sorry. I really recognize that, like, I, as a child, like I said before, I was helpless more often than not. It just because of the circumstances I was in, and I wasn't ever really around people who made sure that I wasn't helpless. I don't understand people who teach their children how to not take care of themselves, because I had to take care of myself literally. Like I had to be my own adult more often than not. And it's not because I was neglected. I wasn't when I was at my mom's house. That's a different story. I definitely was at my dad's. But I just had to be my own adult all the time because for one reason or another, somebody didn't want me around. That was a very real thing. So being a kid and not being wanted around and not being able to have the skills and abilities to take care of yourself really enables helplessness, right? And that's how Midwest Nice works, is with helplessness. So my aunt also lived a life of helplessness the same way that I did. And she always taught me that if you ever felt helpless, all you had to do was find the strength to fly. You could fly away. And that's how she lived her life. That's how she got through her shit and her trauma. And honestly, that's how I got through mine. And now I recognize that that is part of the way I have preserved myself to be this not naive, but yet not undamaged, happy, optimistic little thing. Like I know shit's real and scary and hard, and I know that, and I'll work for it. I'll fight for it. Hyena mode will come out and I'll rip your fucking throat out with my teeth, and I will smile because that's the lawyer in me. But at the same time,
Shout
I
out to
have
Rick
flown I have flown away from everything that's made me feel helpless. So, although I know it's real, I've never really looked at it in the face.
But wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Once again, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Whew, okay, this is my favorite question.
Okay. I'm so excited.
Your last meal.
Ooh.
What would it be, and who would prepare it for you?
Okay. So, my girl Des would prepare it. My girl Des would prepare it, and she would make her, oh my God, her queso, her chicken con queso soup that we then turned into chicken quesadillas and chicken nachos and chicken breakfast quesadillas. And oh my God, every time, it doesn't matter how many times we eat it, so fucking good. Yes, that's real. Also, because Wisconsin, everything has cheese in it. Just, that's not a myth. That's a very real thing.
Heard. Well, I didn't want to use it as a stereotype, but you.
Oh no, stereotype away. Cheese is like a form of affection here. Like, we really, seriously, if you show up at somebody's house, like with a housewarming gift, it's perfectly acceptable to bring cheese. Absolutely. It's got to be like nice cheese, but yeah.
I might use that for the taste of culture on Tuesday. Okay. All right. What is your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday is Halloween and Thanksgiving. My Gemini self can't ever really choose, but for totally different reasons than most people, because I have different reasons. My favorite for Halloween being that I love the creative, artistic expression, as well as my daughter and I actually rotate years. We do themed Halloweens every year. Mm-hmm. So we take turns picking who's doing the theme for the year, and we come up with some really great shit. We've been Jack Skellington and the mayor of Halloween Town. We've been Cruella and a Dalmatian, and I like make our costumes and we're all cute. This year we're going to be Bob and Louise Belcher from Bob's Burgers. I'm so excited. And then Thanksgiving, not for any reason other than it is a beautiful gathering of people when they come together and are thankful, and the food is dope. So good. But fuck Christopher Columbus hardcore.
Big time. We with that. Loser. Okay.
In loser. It's a national holiday, but that guy's a prick.
Oh, don't get me started on holidays. That's that's why I do a lot.
I know.
Man, more and more I find out about holidays, I'm like, everything's a lie.
Everything sucks.
Oh my goodness. Okay. How would you want people to remember you?
Authentic and humble and a genuinely good person.
I like those.
Thank you. Also, fine as hell. I always want to be remembered as fine. Like, I always want to be the hot mom, not because I want anybody, like, I just want to know that I'm the hot mom. I deserve that. I had a baby at 21. I deserve hot mom time. So yeah, humble and appreciated and good person. Yeah, but not appreciated. I would appreciate being recognized as humble and all those things, but also like hot mom bod.
Okay. Noted.
Okay, just let me write that down real quick. Hot
it's on wax.
Bod.
That's all. Like, you stamp that right. It's like you put like bullet points. Then you got the boom right at the end. Okay.
This is my Gemini ass. I can't help it.
I'm married to one, so hey, let me tell you something.
Shout out, Gemini gang. Love it. I really appreciate that you go with the flow and that you handle that flip flop so well.
I'm a Leo. I'm balanced. We cool. We chill. I just like, hey, I gotta love two people in the same person. If that makes sense.
Absolutely, bro.
Y'all
you're talking to both of us. Yes, it makes sense.
All right, last question.
Okay.
What changes do you want to see, and what changes you want to bring to your culture?
I want to be the cure for racism. I want to be part of it. I want to bring awareness to racism and colorism in a perspective that's never been done before. And the reason that I want to do that is because I know for a fact, and this isn't me saying, Celeste, I am going to do this. I'm saying I, as in the royal I, white people, okay? The only way that I am going to accomplish any sort of change is if white people sit the fuck down. And they aren't going to listen to anyone tell them to sit the fuck down except other white people, because they're not uncomfortable unless it's their own. So that's the change that I want to bring. That's who I am. That's what I stand for. That's what I believe in. That's what I'm determined to do. That is my purpose on this planet.
That's perfect.
I'll use all my privilege to tell all the Karens to sit the fuck down. I am speaking. And then I hand the mic to you.
With great privilege come great responsibility.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I say. Celeste, thank you. Seriously.
You're welcome. Thank you for this space and for all the questions. I loved this.
Oh man, this is the makings of you. That's what we're here to do. Like it's just to share your perspectives, your backgrounds. Hopefully, if they didn't know this about you, they know it about you now.
Yeah.
Once again, I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate what you're doing as well.
Thank you.
It is a huge feat to have these discussions, and once again, taboo discussions, meaning what people try to shy away from. Like I tell my old co-host all the time. And it's like, once again, I support it, I share it, but I'm like, damn, they got to me first. Cause I wanted to do the set. I want y'all did, because next season I'm talking about body dysmorphia, and I listen to y'all, like everything they're talking about is right what I'm trying to speak on.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing people on that's experiencing these things as well. Same thing where you had about the sex toys, and about because my main thing, what we do here with Everything Culture, is try to eliminate shame.
Yeah.
As much as possible, unless you're doing something that's harming people, but that's without their will. That's another conversation as well. But
I mean, shout out to our consent episode, because we have one of those.
See what I mean? Yeah, see why I sit down and I listen and just this is something great, and it's something what we're doing here together, and we're having growth in this. Not only these platforms of being a podcaster, but as being a human being. But
yeah.
Celeste.
That's what I want to be remembered for, is a good human being. That's what I sit with.
That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
But Celeste, if you're trying to be found, how can people find you?
We can be found at Tabooze Podcast at gmail.com. I don't know why I would start with email, but okay. If you're from the 90s and you operate an email, that's our email. We are on Twitter and Instagram. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Tabooze the Pod, and we are just Tabooze on Facebook. We also recently got a TikTok. It's Tabooze Podcast, I think. Yep, definitely is. And we're always so bad at the outros, bro. So like this is one of my better exits.
I'm probably on TikTok right now.
Yes.
This is perfect. Hey, y'all make sure to check her out, follow her. You can find us with Everything Culture. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Tumblr still.
Shout out to Tumblr, bro.
Oh yeah. At Everything Culture. Then on Twitter at every THG Culture, or you can go to www.everythingculture.com. New merchandise coming very soon, y'all. The fall is here. The hoodies are coming. Are coming.
Hoodie season.
Once again, thank y'all so much for your support. Thank you again, Celeste. Thank you, Tabooze. Looking forward to having Allie on the show soon. Oh my goodness, this is going to be. And having our, upcoming episode. I don't know what topic we're gonna touch on. I'm gonna give you an idea. Fire. Have y'all touched on mob mentality yet?
No, but I want to now, especially because my great grandpa actually worked for the mafia in the 1920s. He was like a bajillionaire, slumlord, landlord.
See, I'm not even talking about I'm not even talking about that mob mentality, but that's one of them. I'm talking about.
No, we can talk about all of them.
I'm talking about the pitchfork mentality. How when people of you said the court of public opinion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
Hey man, if this touches your ears, man, there's people out here that really appreciate you, man.
Real.
Once again, if you listen to that Tabooze podcast, hey, they big up you. I'm big up in you, but I ain't gonna put you on the pedestal. They put you up on. You still a man to me. Okay, you taught me that. Because as quickly as they love you, they can hate you. You feel me? So, like, I love how he said, oh my God, I could his comedy is so ideal.
It is.
But it's realistic, it's worldly, and it really it's so philosophical how humans operate. But hey, we'll talk. Hey, once again, thank y'all. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. We see y'all soon. I want to say once again, it's your host, Mr. D713, or Drake with Everything Culture. God bless. Peace.
Bye, y'all.